You're listening to the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Erin. I'm Bree.
And I'm Rachel.
It's October. It's Reformation Month, which means maybe you've had Oktoberfest at your Lutheran church. Hopefully. Post-pandemic?
Are we post-pandemic?
Midst of pandemic? I don't know. Maybe your church has gotten back to...
We are sick and tired of pandemic. Is that a phase in the pandemic? Can that be a phase?
That's been the longest phase, actually. That's been like the past 2 years.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to put a damper on this. So hopefully maybe your church has had Oktoberfest. Maybe you're a new Lutheran or you're not German or your church just doesn't do Oktoberfest and you have no idea what we're talking about. Today is a How to Lutheran with Bree, and we're talking about Oktoberfestivities.
Oktoberfest.
This should be super fun. This episode will be in English, not German, I promise. So Bree.
I'm glad that you said it would not be aired in German, Sarah, because I need to be clear about one thing and one thing only. I am not German. I am not of German descent. As you may recall from past episodes, I'm a first-generation Lutheran. So what you're going to get today is a first-generation Lutheran's account of Oktoberfest, its origins, and where it stands in Lutheran culture today.
Yes.
All right. So you guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yes.
We should have had some sausage and sauerkraut appetizers while
That's
we were
what
recording.
I'm saying.
Some good schnitzel.
That's right. So I'm not German, but I do love a good fall festival, and there are many that happen, especially here in the Midwest. I feel like fall festivals in the Midwest,
meant for each other.
Fall festivals are like the Midwest's top export, I feel like, in terms of economics, for sure.
Second, maybe behind corn.
Yeah, it's like corn, fall festivals,
Soybeans.
and soybeans.
Yeah.
Monsanto will never get its grimy paws on fall festivals. Just you try.
Does Monsanto even exist anymore?
No, it's Bayer.
Non-GMO.
Oh,
They're German now. Maybe they will.
Whoa! So, in addition to loving a good fall festival, I also love sausages and pretzels and mustard.
Potato pancakes.
Potato pancakes. So today, we're talking about a fall festival that is near and dear to the life of any Lutheran, and that is the Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
So let me drop a little bit of knowledge on you. Feel free to interject, because I basically used some very basic, rudimentary sources to get my information on this. Because again, kind of learning this for the first time and being fun about it. So, the Oktoberfest originated in 1810 in Munich, Germany. It was held originally to celebrate the marriage of King Louis I. He was Crown Prince of Bavaria at the time. His marriage to Princess...
You can do it.
Brother. Okay,
You can do
Princess Teresa von Sachsen-Hildburghausen.
Hey.
Yes, I got it. The likely quote-unquote inventor of the Oktoberfest is debated, but it is usually credited to one of two German National Guardsmen, one of which sounds like an Italian dude, if you ask me, so I'm calling shenanigans on this. Andreas Michael Delorme or Franz Baumgartner.
Nice.
So the original Oktoberfest itself was basically like a wedding feast for this crown prince and his new bride. It was a 5-day festival that ended in a horse race, which is really what Oktoberfest was. Like, these two National Guardsmen were like, let's have a horse race at the end of this wedding feast. Like, yeah.
And trend?
19th century NASCAR right there.
That's right. And thus, Oktoberfest was born. Year after year, the festival grew and started to take form quite like the one we're familiar with today. I think 8 years after the initial Oktoberfest, they added a state agricultural fair, and then in years preceding that, They added things like food and drink booths. By the late 20th century, the imagery that we probably most closely associate with the Oktoberfest, aka the beer hall,
Yes.
is really when that came about as an important element of the festival, where the original Oktoberfest was a 5-day extravaganza. It is now about 16 to 18 days, and it runs from mid to late September through the first Sunday in October.
Yeah,
Now,
that's something my dad always has to point out. The true Oktoberfest is usually celebrated in September. If you wait to October, you're wasting your time. What are you even doing?
But it's not called Septemberfest, Rachel. Have you told him that? Have you informed him that it's not Septemberfest? It is, in fact, Oktoberfest.
Have you met my dad?
Nope.
Here in America, we like to do things our own way.
Right. No, so, and I do want to be clear that what I'm talking about here is like specific to the quote unquote official Munich Oktoberfest. We'll get into how it's celebrated in America in a few short minutes here. So this festival has grown by leaps and bounds. In addition to the beer halls, you see things like parades, carnival rides, costume contests. It's really just become this big, overblown celebration of Bavarian culture and fashion and food, and it's just a grand old time. A fun time had by all, truly.
Yes.
Drinking Oktoberfest beer is
delicious.
It's probably the most obvious activity that we would associate with the Oktoberfest. And the official Oktoberfest website claims that in the 16 to 18 days in which Oktoberfest is held, there's anywhere from 6 to 7 million liters of beer consumed.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That is amazing.
That's nuts. That's nuts to me. My kidneys, reading this, my kidneys are like crinkling inside my body.
Well, and you know that's like good beer too.
Yeah. It's the real stuff.
Legit German stuff.
Let's put a pin in that for a second, because that's actually not true.
What?
The scandal.
What?
I know.
You're going to ruin Oktoberfest.
You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Okay.
Just trust me.
Okay.
As somebody who doesn't drink very much, and especially not a beer drinker at all, I would like to give a shout out to the real MVP, mustard. I do love good mustard. It's delicious. The official Oktoberfest in Munich truly is a celebration of Bavarian culture, but wherever you celebrate, you don't have to be German to do so. And actually, let's take the pin out of that little comment, Sarah, because here's a fun fact that you obviously were not aware of. Oktoberfest beer did not originate in Germany.
What?
But are you ready for this? I don't think you're even ready for this.
Wait, can this be a guessing game?
Yes.
Oh, I have the notes open in front of me.
You
can guess, Erin.
Okay,
can try.
I get to guess. I predict that it was actually the Oktoberfest beer was imported from the Czechs.
No.
Go further away.
Further away.
Don't be
I
rude.
Predict that it was from the Russians.
That is farther away, but a different direction, I think.
Yeah,
Okay, then who is it from?
It is from...
Wait, the French.
No, you're going the wrong way,
No,
homie.
they drink wine.
From a place where they don't even drink at all nowadays.
Oh, that's true. Hey.
Marzen beer, which is also... That's the type of beer that Oktoberfest beer is.
Märzen.
Likely... Is that how you say it?
If you're in German.
Okay.
But Marzen works great. In fact, if you're ordering it at an American restaurant, I highly recommend calling it Marzen, because the waitress might actually know what you're talking about.
It was likely a creation of the Mesopotamians.
What?
Which, if you know anything about geography, is modern-day Iraq.
Yep.
Guess who was Mesopotamian adjacent? Jesus. It was Jesus if you weren't going, if your brain wasn't there.
okay.
So, point being, you don't need to be German to celebrate Oktoberfest because our Lord and Savior was probably closer to Mesopotamia than he was to Germany.
Though we have no record of him actually drinking beer.
Also, that.
I would add, you don't actually have to be Catholic to celebrate Oktoberfest because Munich, Bavaria, is not a German Lutheran area of Germany.
real?
It is a Catholic region of Germany. Always has been. And so it's something that if you are celebrating Oktoberfest in a Lutheran church, you are removed from the original culture. You're already appropriating. So you don't have to be German. You don't have to be Lutheran. But as a time to gather and celebrate the beauty of the good year, a successful harvest, the end of the garden when it's all gone to weeds and you can just be like, I got that last tomato out. I'm done.
You done. You done.
Yeah. Anybody can enjoy Oktoberfest.
And
It's true.
Oktoberfest is for everyone.
And it's not even a religious holiday either.
No,
even though we kind of make it one.
It's not. The Oktoberfest in Munich has been canceled 25 times in its 200 plus years due to war, inflation, and disease, including the coronavirus pandemic.
Stupid COVID!
It is canceled this year. Unfortunately, these are instances where the only things that could truly cheer me up are eating soft pretzels and going on the Rocco Plains.
Man, those soft pretzels.
But alas. So obviously we have a significant tie-in to Oktoberfest as Lutherans just by virtue of the German linkage. I imagine that's why churches in the Lutheran sphere have kind of gotten into that, especially in America. Your own churches may have their own Oktoberfestivities. I would be interested in hearing about what those are in the Facebook group. We'll be sure to put a prompt in the group to see how you guys all do your little Oktoberfest thing. Concordia Seminary St. Louis has a Oktoberfest celebration of fairly significant notoriety every year. So what about you guys? Like, does your church celebrate Oktoberfest? What does it do? Has it been doing it for a very long time? Like, what is your experience with it?
Ours, we don't have I don't think I've ever done a full-fledged Oktoberfest at church. I know the one full-fledged Oktoberfest I went to was actually when we lived in Forest Park, which is right next to River Forest, which is where Concordia is, because Forest Park is home to all of the German beer bars because River Forest is a dry community. So so Forest Park went all out, and that one was legit. However, my church, when we lived in Chicago, they always had their Reformation celebration was an Oktoberfest kind of meal after church. So we would have all of the good German foods, and people would dress up in their German attire and that. So we'd have the potato pancakes and the sausage and sauerkraut and the pretzels and the schnitzel and the apple strudel and all of the legit German food that's
some little
amazing.
What is it? The word is escaping me right now. What is it called? The little noodle dumpling things. What are they called? Spätzle. That's the one. I do love that.
You can get that at Aldi, by the way. And then
I got some last week, actually, sitting in my pantry.
Week at Aldi, man. Sorry, not a commercial for Aldi.
Wait, no, is it in the freezer? I'm serious right now. Is it in the freezer section?
No, it's in the
it's dry food, isn't it?
Yeah. It'll be by the noodles, or sometimes it's in the Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow aisle. I don't know why, because it's almost always there.
We'll have to do a recipe card on Spätzle at some point.
I make it from scratch sometimes, and it's a lot of work, but it's so good.
Yes. So we did that when we were in Chicago. Here, if we do our an outdoor fall festival, actually sometimes it's with our picnic. We get a good German band, so we kind of celebrate it differently. But we do. We totally get a German band, and it's really fun. So we haven't done anything huge, and of course, it always involves German beer because it's Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
My church we started doing an Oktoberfest fairly recently, so it's not like a decades long tradition. It's really just a picnic, but it's delicious. We don't have a band. It's basically a potluck, but we have grill sausages instead of having just full on potluck. And there are some traditional sort of dishes, but also other crowd pleasers. And that is the one potluck where we do actually have beer offered. Yeah, it's just after church on the last Sunday in October, so it usually ties in with Reformation for us as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's fun. We set up out on the church lawn.
I mean, give me an excuse to have a potluck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you need one?
No.
Exactly.
Any day is a potluck day in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not been. It's been years. Like I was a kid the last time I went to an Oktoberfest at a Lutheran church. It was fun. I had a blast. Church we were at for a while, they had the fellowship meal for October was a sauerkraut supper. And at first I was like, that sounds awful, because I hadn't yet learned to like sauerkraut as I do now. But no, it was sausages swimming in sauerkraut. And if you didn't like sauerkraut, you could just fish the sausages out. It was still, I think, would probably go down as my children's least favorite church fellowship meal of the year. That was wonderful. But Oktoberfest is something that in my family, will always find a good Oktoberfest if we can. I was very heartbroken this year. There was none nearby, but my dad sent me photos from the one he attended in Michigan that I'd been to a few times. That was not an official Lutheran thing, but I tell you, you go to that Oktoberfest, you're going to find some Lutherans sitting 2 tables over from you, because we're all there. And my favorite part, I mean, I love the food, I enjoy the beer and the fellowship and the noise and the raucous time, but I love to polka, you guys. I'm a polka dancing fiend, and and so that's what I love. If you're gonna have an Oktoberfest, get, if not a German band, at least a Spotify playlist or something. Put it up over the speaker and clear an area of floor so that the polka dancers can enjoy and burn off some of that sausage before they go home. Yes, I don't have it. No, I don't have a dirndl. I've always wanted one, but those things are really expensive. Oh my goodness!
Just Google dirndl, and it's like Halloween, like Party City, like.
Oh no,
no, we need a real one,
like beer wench.
No,
stop it.
No,
A little lederhosen.
Rachel, did you ever go to the Oktoberfest in Frankenmuth?
Did we? I think we did.
Because that's like German Lutheran headquarters of Michigan.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. That was would have happened the same month. Maybe I didn't, because the year we lived just a few miles from Frankenmuth, I had a baby September 13th. So something tells me I was not in polka dancing shape when it would have come around. Yeah. So, I know we went to some German festivals while we were there and enjoyed them immensely, but I'm not 100% positive we made it to Oktoberfest.
One day we need to have a ladies' lounge field trip to Frankenmuth and explore all of the German wonderfulness.
Yes.
German wonderfulness. Yes.
But yes, I love Oktoberfest. I see it as more an outgrowth of my German heritage. I'm like half German, just a very loud half. More of an outgrowth of my German heritage than of my Lutheran faith, because I really, as much as I love the culture, and if a Lutheran church has an Oktoberfest, I am gonna be there, like banging down the door at opening time, because I love them so much. But I definitely see my Lutheran faith as something that goes deeper than any other cultural heritage.
Totally.
And so it certainly would not be something that if it didn't happen at my Lutheran church, I'd be like, are you even Lutheran?
Right. No, and I honestly, I think it is one of those things where some churches do it and then they've done it and it makes sense. And I think there are just some that so personally for me, I don't, growing up, I don't think we ever had anything like an Oktoberfest party or festival. At Matt's vicarage congregation, they had the men's group grilled brats last weekend, and there was like pretzels and bratwurst, and it was just like a little side thing, but it wasn't this full blown like polka band and dancing around and drinking Marzen beer. But yeah, it's certainly like Oktoberfest celebrations do not a Lutheran church make.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, well, maybe not so much interesting, but I just wonder, like, as our church as a whole, Lutherans as a whole sort of get less homogenized and less, because, I mean, obviously we have a lot of, especially Missouri Synod Lutheran churches that are very tight grip on their German heritage. And that's all fine and good. But like, as we become less that, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Like, what is it? What does the new generation or the next generation of Oktoberfest?
Well,
what does
maybe,
that
and
look
it's
like?
a more of an and. So Oktoberfest, it's a fun opportunity for fellowship.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something else that's unique about your community that you're going to do that, or your members. Maybe you have our church has a Nepalese fellowship that's part of it.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to consider, is there some sort of a thing along those lines?
Yeah.
Culture can get tricky, though, and this probably is going to take it in a more serious direction than we want for this one. But
that's all right.
I was thinking about it. I was like, so we do this, but we also, I know, wrestle with the idea of when, like, you get a whole lot of America culture into our church, and what does that look like? But we're fine with it if it's German culture.
Right.
Like I just said, the Nepalese fellowship, but I know that they also like see there's some challenges in the culture and what that actually brings with it. And so I don't know that they would actually want to have a Nepalese culture fellowship event, because sometimes there's a lot of stuff woven into culture that doesn't actually align well with what we believe. Anyway, it just occurred to me with this whole thing that we're very comfortable with it. And maybe it's just because we aren't in Germany, and so
and we're far away.
Okay, but
that's a good point.
Those are interesting dynamics to think about.
I'm sad.
Yeah,
now.
I was.
It's fine.
Well, I'll give you some hope. I was at a Lutheran church for a few years that they did not have an Oktoberfest that I remember. But there were several families in the church who were Chinese American. And they did have a little get together around the Chinese New Year every year. And I remember I learned how to make dumplings, and that was wonderful. It was just a wonderful, inclusive way to say we realize that this is an important part of your culture that is not incongruous with your faith. And we want to celebrate that. So I think you're right that Bree, if we're looking at ways to just, I mean, any excuse for a loving opportunity for fellowship, right? In ways that we can be welcoming and hospitable and take people as they are and celebrate the things, the distinctive gifts that they bring to our churches. Like that's awesome. So I mean, you could cancel Oktoberfest, be like, this doesn't have a place in a multicultural church. Or you could just say, well, we'll have this party and this party and this party and some more parties, and
will never end.
Potluck every weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. That's a great idea. That is a wonderful idea. For sure.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That's all I got today, guys. Oktoberfest, it's fall festival season. Let's come together and normalize cultural celebrations of all kinds in our churches, as long as they're not like
heretical,
rooted in some pagan practice or whatever.
The end.
I'm just going to stop talking right there, because I know better, and I will not fall into that trap.
Well, ladies, if you have an Oktoberfest story, we would love to hear it in our Facebook group. You can join our group on Facebook, the Lutheran Ladies Lounge. You can also share your stories with us on Instagram. You can tag us in those stories. And hey, if you've got an Oktoberfest, some photos you want to share and tag us within reason, we'll share them on our Instagram stories.
Bonus points for Lederhosen.
Yes. Oh, you can follow us on Instagram at Lutheran Ladies Lounge. You can find all of our podcasts at kfuo.org/Lutheran Ladies Lounge or on your favorite podcasting app. You're listening to the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Erin.
I'm Bree.
And I'm Rachel.
Views and opinions expressed on the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast may not represent the official position of the management or ownership of KFUO Radio, the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. The Lutheran Ladies Lounge is produced by KFUO Radio and available at kfuo.org or wherever you get your podcasts. Join our community on Facebook in the Lutheran Ladies Lounge.
My phone's ringing. What?